This is a preview for Annapurna, Leave No Trace Behind, a game coming to Kickstarter in the near future. So let's take a look at it and I'll give you my initial impressions. What I have here is one setup for one of the players in a multiplayer game. It supports up to 4 players. And I'll talk about the basics of the game and then I'll show you some examples of what you can do. So every player is going to be given a set of cards to start with. These are some examples. Let's take a look at one card. So you're going to have yin and yang symbols on the left side. It can be from 0 to 4. It's going to have an effect and your player color. In this case, it's blue. So we'll look at I'll show you some of the effects. So like this one is you must explore the row above you on your next turn. This one is 2 yangs and you may flip another card on the mountainside face down. And the best card in the game is simply lets you take another turn, the chocolate bar. So the goal of the game is to reach the top of the mountain and be able to balance your mountainside with yin and yang symbols. So throughout the game, you're going to be flipping these cards up with different amounts of symbols on them. And when you're able to, so say you flipped up these, you can sweep your mountainside, or you have to sweep your mountainside, and then you'll put them in your cache up here. And at the end, once you reach the top, your cache will come into your hand, and then you're able to finish balancing your mountainside. So since I've set up the game, you'll have 3 cards in your hand or backpack. You'll have your meeple that is off the side, and you'll start playing your turns. You have a few options, but for your first turn, you have to explore. So you have to move up the mountainside. We'll just pick this card. So you're going to flip this card up and take a look at it. Now this one is put a face down card from in or below your row into your backpack. So it has to be in this row or below, and we just take a card and put it in our backpack. So if we want to be able to move here in the future, we probably want to take this one. So now we've added Sweet Dreams into our backpack. Now on your normally it would go around, each person would take a turn. On your next turn, you have a few more options. So you can either explore left or right or up the mountain. Keep in mind you can't go back down the mountain after you go up. Or you can trade a card. So you can take one of these cards in your hand. So we have this chocolate bar in here, which might be really good because we can take another turn. So we could say, okay, let's trade the card. We put the face down card in our cache. We put the chocolate bar face down, and then that's the end of our turn. I think we lay down our meeple to signify that. Again, we can't sweep this yet because there's only one yang symbol up. Come back to our turn. Now we're probably going to go to the chocolate bar. So we'll go to the chocolate bar, and then we can just take another turn. So in this case, I'm going to decide to move to the left. I'm hoping for some more yang symbols. So this one is return the top card of any cache to any mountainside face up in an empty space. So this is any cache to any mountainside, so you could play other players' caches, I think, in this case. So let's return this. And this one, now we've actually gotten a white yin and yang symbol that we can sweep. So we can sweep these and put them into our cache. This will continue until we get to the top of the mountain. There's a couple other things you can do. You can actually trade cards from your hand to someone else's to engage in some player interaction. And once you get to the top, you'll end up with all this. So say we've actually made it to the top with maybe not some great things. We've ended up with a really bad situation here. So now, actually our hand's not much better. So now what you can do is on your turn, you'll end up putting out cards to try to balance your mountainside and get rid of them. The goal is to have essentially 0. So yang would be minus and yin would be plus, and your goal is to have a total of 0 on your mountainside. And then each round you're going to get scores based on that. So the person that did the best is going to get 3 flags. The person that did the second best is going to get 2. The third best, 1. and the last person gets 0, and you'll play this until a typical game would be up to 9 total flags. So let me give you some thoughts on this game. Overall, I thought it was a very unique concept. So normally, I think the idea of going up a mountainside and trying to essentially balance it is something I haven't seen in a game before. One more unique aspect of this is the fact that can be player interaction if you choose. You're not necessarily required to have player interaction, but for example, when you get to the top, you can actually put cards from your hand onto other people's mountainside, and then they can choose to flip cards up on yours, which might be a strategy. So in this case, I don't have any good cards to place anymore. So I could put like this Don't Poke the Yeti card on someone else's mountainside and hope that they decide to flip over a card, and then maybe this lets me sweep these off my mountainside. Of course, in the situation like this, they probably aren't going to do that, and you're probably going to be stuck with the situation you have. The other thing I liked about it, I like the square cards, and I like the idea that the games play pretty quick. Once people know how to play, usually decisions go fairly fast, and you're going to be able to play through the 9 points within, I think our games would last under an hour for the full 9 points, or with 4 players, or if you did 2-player games, or you can even play to less points. As far as the components, I think on the Kickstarter they're going to have these I think pretty good meeples. The card quality is pretty good, and the artwork looks decent. And they're going to have this zip bag for a portable solution, so you can take it with you. And I think everything fits in the zip bag. So that's the preview for Annapurna. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.